What's up, YouTube? It's a homeboy here, Luminous24, bringing you another video log. You know what we be about, you know what we be on. Without further ado, let's get into today's video log. This one's gonna be Food for Thought, Part 3. Yes, we did Food for Thought Part 1, we did Food for Thought Part 2, to see how this one goes. So, let's get to topic and thing. So, first thing that came to mind and everything, is this something that's been like trailing me and everything, has been the whole red pill, blue pill community and thing. Like, I've seen people talk about beta male, alpha male, all this stuff. I mean, I started like people fit into one category or the next, but what you should really do is just focus on yourself. I mean, that's just me and everything, and that's coming from what they call sigma male, that doesn't abide by either one, doesn't really fit those characteristics. Like, they have the characteristics of both, they just do their own thing. And that's basically what I do. I do my own thing and I live my life. Another thing that I've kind of realized, another thing is the whole people want to be people pleasers. I mean, coming from a person who used to do that, I just say like it's not one of the top things that you want to go and do. I mean, some people do it and everything. If you do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't. But at the same time, though, like, you gotta understand that there comes like pros and cons of that as a whole. I mean, not too much to say on that, but one thing that I did want to touch on, and it's been a constant revolving thing: can or do men have the right to turn down sex? Can men say no? And my full-hearted answer is yes. Men can say no. Just like a woman can say no to a man's sexual advances, man can say no to a woman's sexual advances. Or if they go with the other sex and everything, they can say no to a man's sexual advances. Does it make you less of a man? Does it make you gay or nothing? It's just, if you have your boundaries, you have your stuff and everything. Like, there be times where I can say, like, in my past relationships, where I felt like I was pressured or I was guilt tripped into doing like the sexual stuff and everything. Like, there be times where I don't want to go and do it, and I still try to make that clear. But at the same time, though, they weren't taking a hit. They were just like, no, I want this, or I want that, or they just keep grabbing at my stuff and everything, and they keep pushing that boundary. Like, I feel so if you want a person to respect your boundaries, you gotta respect theirs as well. And it's a give and a take situation. You can't just be like, oh, I want you to not touch me inappropriately when I'm not in the mood. I don't want you to be making these sexual things towards me or doing these things at all. I want you to respect me for who I am. And it's not. But at the same time, though, I'm not going to respect you, and I'm going to do the opposite of what I said for you to do to me, that I'm going to do to you. You don't want sex? You gay. What's wrong with you? You don't think I'm attractive? And I think that's like another thing that society is painted as like with males, and I think it's kind of stupid as a whole. I mean, I never thought I was going to be covering this topic, but it's something that I've seen circling around like YouTube videos with like Abba and Preach. I've seen it with like some other videos that people have done where people have went around, they've asked like countless women, and women have been like, no, a man doesn't get to say no to me, this and that. I mean, when I saw those, I was like, ooh, comes off as predatory to me, because it's just like, you're denying us the right to say no, but if roles were reversed, like a reverse motherfucking Uno card, you be wanting us to be like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do X, Y, Z to the power of 3, just so you can get some of this. And oh, I feel pressure and stuff like that. Like, I'm not taking away from the fact that women have had like all that stuff. I'm just saying, come from a male perspective and everything, it should go both ways. It shouldn't just be you get like all this stuff and you get the privilege and thing, but when it comes down to being a male, you don't get as much of that like support and stuff like that. Which is why like there's times where I turn to those podcasts and everything, like the Joe Rogan podcast. Like I go to his stuff, I hear his stuff and everything. Certain like male people, like male idols and everything that I have in mind, even the comic wise and everything. Like I listen to their stuff and I vibe what they say. Um, there's one channel that talks about like relationships and stuff. Like I listen to certain things that they do and certain things I can't agree with. Just from past experiences that I went through. But I'm always like this. I just believe that you should just treat a person how you want to be treated. Bottom line, no ifs, no buts about it. If you do anything that goes outside those person's boundaries or anything, then you're the issue, not that person. And I always say, like, remember that. Remember how you want to be treated by other people. In order to receive, you gotta give. You can't you can't keep taking things and not be willing to give things. Like, it's like another thing that's been like on my mind has been like keeping the 100 people. Like, how you gonna say that? Oh, keeping the 100. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But you can't be 100 not just to other people, but you can't be 100 to yourself. Your star player. Like my dad says all the time, in order for you to love another person, you gotta love yourself and everything. You gotta protect what's here, because you can give yourself to someone else and everything. Doesn't mean they're gonna like reciprocate that same feeling. And I think that's what everyone tends to misconstrue or tends to like get mixed up. But I mean, on the positive note, food for thought that I've seen I've seen people like stand together more on what they believe on their common grounds, whichever community you belong to. I do believe that this year has been an interesting year. Like, I've seen so much stuff, but one thing I will say and everything is the whole cancel culture thing, and it comes out with the whole sensitivity with society thing. It gets harder and harder to actually post and actually express yourself online without being targeted by what we call the sensitive people in the community, or what people call snowflakes. Like, I have nothing against people who have sensitive like thoughts, who have sensitive mindsets. But at the same time, though, I do believe that you should restrict one person or one's right to go and express how they feel, what they want to say, and stuff like that. Hell, just be yourself and do what you're gonna go and do. And without further ado, that concludes today's episode 3 of Food for Thought. If you guys liked the video, you guys enjoyed what was talked about here and everything, leave a like and everything. And also don't forget to subscribe and turn on all notifications so you guys don't miss any content that comes on the channel. And I will catch you guys in the next video log. Alright, bye bye.